Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Last time we did some gambling and beat a mono beast? Or was it? Just kind of weird that we were able to do that considering Monomi's technically dead. But well, you know, it's just, you know, stuff that happened behind the scenes. I like to think that happened during the execution. And yeah, prior to that, we saw a pretty interesting scene where Nagito was talking to somebody on a boat on the way to Jabberwock Island. And something was a bit off about Nagito's hand. His left hand, to be exact. It looked a little bit like Junko's hand? Maybe I'm just reading too much into that. Anyway, today we're gonna go to Chapter 6. Huh? What is this? It's a door. There's a door. Huh? A door? Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go? Huh? Isn't this a classroom? But even so, it's a very strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside the ancient ruin with everyone else. And I arrived at a place that looked like a trial ground. But then, why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here. It's just like before, when we were all gathered in that classroom just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island. But where is this place? Is it somewhere on Jabberwock Island?
Testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system. Am I on? Can everyone hear me? Okay, well then.
Welcome to Hope Speak Academy, you guys. At this point, I shall explain the graduation exam to you all. So please assemble at the gymnasium immediately.
Huh? Did he say what I think he just said? Yes, he definitely said it. He said, "Welcome to Hope's Peak Academy." But why would this place be Hope's Peak Academy? And not just that, what is the graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already? We got some iron plates right here. What is this? Normal classroom, there'd be a window, but instead, there's this iron plate bolted here. When I tried knocking on it with my fist, looks like it's pretty thick iron plate. Is this to keep us trapped? What the heck? This place where iron plates are covering the windows inside the classrooms. Is it really Hope's Peak Academy? Oh no, I didn't mean to look at the surveillance camera. Yeah, I wanted to serve the same purpose as the cameras on Jabberwock. So is watching this whoever's controlling Monokuma? Okay. Might as well look at the clock, see what time it is. Oh, it doesn't have any hands. Well, that's unfortunate. A clock without hands is meaningless. Why would something like this be in a classroom? So you can't tell the passage of time. Leave here? Yep, might as well. Even the hallway doesn't feel like a school at all. What a creepy place. At least it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope's Peak Academy. Is this creepy place the Hope's Peak Academy that I've admired for so long? It's probably a building that Monokuma made to startle us, just like the funhouse. That's right. That's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gymnasium, right? Then I'll go and definitely clear things up. I like how cool, like, these just look, and yeah, we can't go in there. Well, we obviously can't go right there to Despair Hotel. I didn't want to go there anyway. I bet it's just filled with despair. Can't go down that way. That's just a corner. Alright then. What's up with the frickin' Eye of Ra in this game? Okay, well, the AV room is being protected by Ra right now, so I can't go in there. The store, it's, you know, just closed for renovations. Likewise with the entrance. Likewise with the nurse's place. Likewise with the restroom. Okay, apparently the women's restroom might be fine. Okay. Oh, we can't go there. Well, here's the gym. The gymnasium is here, right? Gee, I don't know. Why don't you avert your gaze like 2 centimeters up and look at the sign? Alright, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. And so, I brace myself and cautiously open the door. This is the end. Goodbye, Academy of Despair. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. Oh my god, the balls are just sitting around, like not even put up properly. The basketballs are mixed with the volleyballs. This is horrific! Oh, and also, it was a normal gymnasium.
Damn right.
Yo, Hajime.
Yo.
You heard the announcement and came here too? You guys did too, right?
What's going on?
Hey, what do you make of all this? Monokuma said this place was Hope's Peak Academy or something?
That is...
That cannot be possible.
Well,
You're right.
Yeah.
Any way you look at it, it's impossible. Hello! How's it feel to return to the long-awaited Hope's Peak Academy?
Why, you...
You. Hey, where are we? Where'd you lock us up this time? What a shock! I just told you guys this is Hope's Peak Academy.
Of course not.
There's no way in hell that's true.
No.
Oh, but it is. I mean, this is definitely Hope's Peak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway? What's left of it?
What?
Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope's Peak Academy fell into ruin.
Lies.
You were serious about that?
Stupid fool.
I don't believe it! But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserve to be ruined for. What do you mean?
I don't like this.
Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hope's Peak Academy, and you don't feel surprised or nostalgic.
Fine.
Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. Someone?
Don't fuck with me.
Enough with this bullshit, just spit it out already. Where'd you take us, you bastard? Though I am not certain of my memories, I believe we entered the ancient ruin and...
In other words...
It means... I made this Hope's Peak Academy between the door to the ruin and inside of the ruin. What do you mean between?
Hey.
What do you mean made?
What's this?
Oh my, are your minds getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy? Good. Very good. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment? You're planning to make us do something, aren't you?
No way.
It's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that.
Shing.
It's just a simple graduation exam.
Huh?
Then what is the graduation exam?
Hey,
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate.
are you
But on the
sure
other
about
hand,
this?
I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world.
So,
That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. Huh? We're obviously gonna get out. There's no way we'd stay here.
That's right.
This is annoying. Just hurry up and let us choose. Let's choose right now.
no,
You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet. Main cast?
Hey,
Meaning, you guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives. So enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world. What do you mean? I have dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Hope's Peak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is gonna hate me. So, please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip. And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What is going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow, I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey, hey.
Like, he kept insisting that this place is Hope's Peak Academy. But that's impossible, right?
What are you saying?
How did he make it back to Hope's Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible.
it cannot be.
There is no place for Hope's Peak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island. I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on the island. This building is really Hope's Peak Academy? This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world is going on? Damn it, why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope. If that's what you're thinking, just stop it. Listen carefully, the only humans worthy of becoming Hope possess amazing talents and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hope's Peak Academy that you couldn't even see that? Yeah. You're just some nobody from the reserve course who never had a talent to begin with. A nobody who forgot he was a nobody. That's all. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why? Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime, did something happen? Huh?
Hey, bastard.
Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing. I don't really get it, but is that all?
I'm gonna do
As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what it means?
Hey,
Just what the heck is Monokuma anyway? He's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation?
jeez.
Even though Chiaki and Manami are gone, our situation hasn't changed one bit. Which means the Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of.
You serious?
So they're not World Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma? However, the Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Manami never once denied that.
Damn it.
Even if there are allies, they might not just be allies. Hey, maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Chiaki said she could not betray the Future Foundation. But if she were still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help. So, what should we do?
Damn it.
Well, that's obvious. If we're going to get out of here safely, we have to do that graduation exam, right?
So annoying.
Graduation exam, huh? I'm not really good at taking exams. Somehow I'm not surprised. Well, I guess it's better than people dying.
Jeez.
Monokuma said something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been?
Alright!
Alright, I'm gonna do it!
Prepare yourself.
Like,
Yeah, we might be able to learn about something. About Hope's Peak Academy. About ourselves. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine.
hey!
Hey, we can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right? If that's the case, let's all leave this island alive by any means.
Of course!
Hell yes! He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Where this place really is, what's happened to Hope's Peak Academy, none of that matters. What's important is, I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive, just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But Monokuma should already know that that's what we're thinking. So, why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island.
Hey!
So, what are we gonna do? Can we start already? But what are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this weird-ass building?
Even so.
Even so, I don't think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this damn building. Well, I'll just go on ahead for now. Hey, you're already going?
Jeez.
What is that idiot thinking running ahead without being cautious?
Man.
She obviously isn't thinking about anything.
However,
It will be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives. Oh my god, that stare in the background, the bottom line on it. Oh my god, that's throwing me off. Ugh, it looks like it's curving a little. Whatever.
alright!
So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped at a green light, we'd never reach our goal.
Jeez. You're pathetic.
Ugh, that stared too. What's going on here? I kinda already took off on our own. It might be faster if we split up and look around too. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. Then, let's get this over with and go home.
Later.
I'll go on ahead. I'll see you guys later. With those brief words, Fuyuhiko left the gymnasium.
Excuse me?
I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me. Sonia took a deep bow, then left the gymnasium.
Oh my.
Miss Sonia!
Miss Sonia.
Miss Sonia! Please don't leave me, I'll be in danger if I'm left alone. Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed and left the gymnasium. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual peaceful everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance toward that hope. Even though I don't understand, and that a lot of horrifying things keep happening, for the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home. Woo! Alright, yeah, you just gotta let that intro play and wait for the beat to drop. So good. So flippin' good. Nothing to explore. Alright, let's go. We gotta investigate. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out. We're gonna make it. We are going to live. We're on the 5th floor. Alright, that's fast transportation for you. Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. I'm not going to fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. God, I love this aesthetic. Alright. So we can't go back that way. Hey, Sonia. How's it hanging? Missed you. There we go. This hallway, there's a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement.
I am concerned.
Is it just me? No, I don't see an invisible wall. I mean, I see a visible wall right there, but invisible wall, nah, I'm not seeing it. Haha, see what I did there? Okay, that was awful. We got quite a few places we can check out. This door is just out of action right now. That looks scary going down that hallway. Anything else we got before I make my mind up? Oh, well, we got the dojo right there, yo. Okay, well, fine. What's gonna be down scary hallway? Okay, well, we can't get into the bio lab right now. Excuse me? Somebody really needs to clean the mold off these walls. I mean, this might be my aesthetic, but that's no excuse for an unclean environment. Just saying. Well, yeah, how you doing, pet? Yeah, it'll be fine. Alright. Dojo. Just how I remembered. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. That makes sense to me. There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional looking woodblock key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. There's a straw post. I guess that means it was used for training. The cherry tree is proudly displaying its full blossoms. The falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Hiyoko and Peko were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. Picturesque. For their sakes as well, I will definitely go home. That target seems pretty far away. If the production team had had more time, there could have been a minigame here. Wait, what am I saying? Ease back from that fourth wall, yo. Ease back. But yeah, that would have been a really nice minigame. This cherry tree is in full bloom. It may be a tasteful sight to see a blooming cherry tree inside a dojo, but in this situation, it just looks bizarre. To you, it's great to me. We got some armor here. It's armor and helmet. The map developers designed this to reflect a Japanese dojo? Please, come back from the fourth wall. That's all we have left right now, dog. Don't break it. What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma? Why is a manga with such a suspicious looking title laying out in the open like this? Let's start with history first, class.
Hey!
Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person. I prefer Wikipedia myself. So just as I thought, Monokuma made this. It totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. See, from far away that looked like Ribbon from Kirby 64, but no, it's just generic anime girl number 52 Moe edition. I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is, yes, this is how she talks. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni and key leaders are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. Too real, too real. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decide to implement a new system. The Reserve Department. Unlike the main department, who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. Too real! Too real! Cause the high school I went to, like, it was considered like one of the best in the country. Like, just up there, like among the best in the country. And yes, it was located in Detroit. But then, like, I don't know, like close to when I was about to graduate, there was talks of like in like later year, the year after, where they might have like, or just, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, be a little more lax on their like entrance requirements, because the thing is, the school was relatively picky. Like, you had to take a exam to see like if you were good enough to go there. Essentially, they wouldn't just accept anybody. And yeah, like if you were a rule breaker, or just like bad in general, like if you got expelled, you were forced to go to like neighborhood high school that like wasn't as reputable. But then over time, with the public school system here losing a lot of money and just some other shenanigans going on with that school, with a principal who was embezzling money and quite a few people on her staff who were like in on it. Yeah, things were going like pretty bad. And yeah, there was talk of just like being a little more open on the entrance requirements to allow like more students to come in, sometimes without even, or I don't know if they got rid of the entrance exam or if it's still there, but you don't need to score as high on it. But yeah, like they were going to be more open to like other students. And of course there's still the brand name associated to it because of how good it was over the years. So yeah, this hits a little close to home. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. Too real! Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga. The tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic, there's no way these incidents really happened. Right? This manga only mentions the name, so I don't really know the details, but no, it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of the manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students, right?
But hold on.
That's weird. Oh, you're here again. The one thing that's weird is you, of course. Huh?
Hey!
Why'd you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So, I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that, too. What do you want me to say?
By the way...
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students.
I got it!
Or you're willingly sealed those memories yourself. Huh? You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though. Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it. When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve course student. Damn it, what the heck? Reserve department has been added to troop police section of your handbook. Well, methinks we be done here. Just making sure. Alright then, let's go. Hidden Monokumas exist in this chapter, so I just want to be careful. Alright then, well, we're done with the dojo. Nice calves. Was that just from walking? Hey, I'm walking in? Alright then, cool. Yo, how's it going, Coca-Cola?
What's going on?
This hallway is kind of creepy. Can't go to places that I should be able to go to. It's like some rules being enforced for no reason. Yeah, it's like there's an invisible wall or something. What's up with you guys and invisible walls? Okay, well that's a classroom right there. 5A, let's go, eh? So I just want to make sure you're not going to die. Yeah, you'll be fine. Alright, I love the wallpaper here. A violin. What about it? This is going to be the same thing. Metal slabs are covering portions of the classroom where windows would usually be. To go so far as to cover the windows like this. Does he really want to keep us locked inside? But why? You're going to say the same thing about that there clock on that there wall. Don't have any hands. Time's it right now. Can't see outside. I don't even know if it's night or day right now. Alright then, well, let's check out this book. This is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? Wasn't the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? That's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about the incident? Okay, so this kind of reminds me of, what is that name? Golga, or Golgo 13? Golga 13? I don't know, but this looks reminiscent of that, to me at least. I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. No duh. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. Izuru was a genius known as the symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who is known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited. Danganronpa 0! With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. I think Danganronpa 0 was the light novel? I could be wrong on that. What irony! For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy you juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. Alright, Fuyuhiko. But, ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, it's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up. All it's doing is raising more questions. Mysteries just keep piling up. Also, the name Izuru Kamakura might sound a little familiar to you. Think back to the funhouse and a certain portrait we found in the funhouse. Anyway, just checking to make sure. Alright, let's go and continue on with this investigation. We can go back to the dojo if we wish. I didn't see any Monokumas in there, so I hope I'm not like leaving any behind. I probably am at this point. I'm trying my best here. Oh, well, looks like we can go in here where it's raw. I make sure everything remain raw. I make sure everything remain raw. Okay. Or is it stay raw or remain raw? I haven't listened to that Busta Rhymes song in a hot minute. What the hell is with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Yeah, oh, you sneaky little punk. Oh, we got Matrix Kuma right there. Alright then. Okay, let's just go down the line. We got tarp. This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will ya? Who are you even talking to? Okay, well, not a lot to investigate here. I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least, that's what it looks like. But that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been canceled during development or something. What am I thinking? Huh. Oh, the lights are on. Oh well. I guess that means no bodies are being stored here. There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. Okay, so this is like one of those, oh my god, I forgot his name. I forgot his name, which is a shame. Oh my god. Why did I have to watch an Earthbound video before this? Because now the only thing that's on my mind is Itoei, but I know it's not Itoei. Oh my god, he was the dude that like he's known for drawing like a lot of like monsters and horrific like horror things, and he was going to work with Guillermo del Toro and Kojima on Silent Hills before Konami canceled it. Oh my god, what is his name? I mean, I'll have a caption here, but I feel bad that I've forgotten his name. But yeah, this puts me in the mind of his style, just a little. And I guess this could also pass for like some other styles, but to be fair, there are also like quite a few manga artists that cite that guy as like their inspiration. And like it's not unheard of for like artists to adopt similar styles compared to people that inspired them. Like that's why Fairy Tail looks quite a bit like One Piece. That artist was inspired by Oda. I think was actually taught by him too, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, a story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I hope you're not tired of hearing that, because you're going to be hearing that a lot more. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them. And soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. Too real. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. Too real! Rein it back, please! I play video games to escape reality! By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etat. I think that's how you... I know the P is silent because I took French. Why did I take French? I'll never know. Like French and German for some reason. Coup d'etat. I believe that's how you pronounce it? Began occurring around the world. A war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there's no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy. A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. Sounds like Windows 10. Hi-yo! The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. Because you're kind of in a freezer right now. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. Oh, okay. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. Oh, I was about to say, Kuma. Alright. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them? Kuma now. Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this? Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough. What is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though. Thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened? And actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. On the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you're gonna leave that white island or stay here. He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps, no, that's definitely it. The tragedy has been added. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use! I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Get him out of here! Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Well, let's figure it out, shall we? Well, we can explore that classroom where, if memory serves correctly, that's where quite a few chalk outlines of dead bodies were in the previous game. And that's no good. Ooh, a new classroom opened up. And nobody's chilling out here. Alright then, let's go to class. 5B. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. There's really not much to examine here. Let's talk to Fuyuhiko. Oh, despair!
Jeez.
When I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. Heh, it's gonna be it's gonna be shitty either way.
Damn right.
So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Well, I guess we have no choice. Let's talk to him.
Hiya.
Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here?
No.
Well, there's another thing I need to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? You should have done that from the beginning. I don't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots. Getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up, what did you need to tell me? It's about the key piece of information you've been waiting so long for.
What?
Surprise! It's about ultimate despair! Huh? Ahem. Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it
Actually.
was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. High school girl?
Yes, indeed.
Lady Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima.
Hey.
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor. and created the Ultimate Despairs. There's one real horrible person in that group.
Don't fuck with
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl. Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she can influence those in the highest echelons of power. Excuse me, phone. You gotta love construction company telemarketers. That's a first. Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat?
Huh?
Then what was their purpose?
Huh?
What? Well, like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do what they did without any purpose.
hey,
It was Junko Inishima's despair. Huh? For Junko Inishima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Inishima as Junko Inishima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Inishima is is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving, for her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the Ultimate Despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the Ultimate Despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Inishima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Inishima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible.
What?
You know about the final days of Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Final days.
in other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the Reserve Department?
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide?
What'd you say?
All 2,357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded? Huh? Is that me?
Damn it!
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate Despair, Junko Inishima. Heh, it doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko Inishima is already dead. So how would you know about this, fam? Huh? That silhouette, though. Yas, queen. Yas. Anyway, Ultimate Despair has been added to the Troop List section of your handbook. And Reserve Department has been updated. Well, let's check that out, shall we? We gotta check out the updates. Yeah, it was Reserve Department. Department populated by Reserve Corps students who took general exams, in contrast to the main department, which recruited Ultimate level students, established to secure funds for Hope's Peak Academy. 2,357 students in the Reserve Department were infected by Junko's despair and committed mass suicide. There's only one survivor. Yo, but real quick, dog, you just said something that was pretty weird. Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Inishima is really dead?
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There's a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. Bloody classroom? No, wait. What was that you said about the Killing School Life? Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. So I recall the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. The killing school of life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey,
For a manga about the killing school of life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school of life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead.
like...
It turns out that killing school of life was part of the whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy. She took away their memories. It's just like us. Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing.
So,
The students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then, Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter.
bastard!
Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? If Junko Enoshima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resembled that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit!
If the students from Hope's Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting this somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the Killing School life? Killing School life has been added. Ultimate Despair has been updated. Okay, well, let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, this term was adopted by the group responsible for causing the tragedy, but in actuality, it originally referred to a certain female high school student named Junko Enoshima. However, Junko killed herself at the climax of the Killing School life after she lost to the students of Hope's Peak Academy. Man, Hajime, you totally know about this story, huh? What, you have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna
Oh
do?
well, I'll just raise the flag. Flag? What do you mean raise the flag? What's going to happen if you do that?
Ooh,
One step at a time. You're getting closer to clearing my character route. You're not making sense again.
well now.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy. What you talking about, Mono? Kuma?
What?
Bryce, you want to hear about the Ultimate Despairs again? No, I don't really need you to.
Hey,
You know, the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days. It was actually a term used to describe... Oh my god, he just started on his own. Oh my god. Please, Monokuma. No, stop. Alright, yeah, you don't have to keep explaining. It's fine already, but I'm just getting to the good part. Good part or not, I've already heard this from you before. Thank you. Alright, let's get out of here before he talks to us again. No, Keipora Gebora Monokuma. No. Huh? It changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden. What's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided that I'm not going to be surprised. That's right. Some time for me to be surprised by something like this. Sorry, my glaucoma is acting up right now. Alright. Let's go. So much glaucoma right now. I think that's what happens when you see dark spots over your eyes. Akane's twitching her nose like a beast and examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened?
Based on my gut
Well, you know, it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. Huh? What do you mean? Who?
so
I don't know. It's just my gut after all.
It's just my gut.
But still, her gut is pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. And Monokuma did say something about the main cast coming. Surprising, but her gut must be correct again this time. Alrighty then. Let's figure out where we can go, Pilgrim. Okay, so all these doors, they are kinda closed up. Whoa, hey there. What you doing there, buddy? Just spinning around. Okay, why am I trying to do... What the frick is his name? John Wayne, there we go. Like, why? I don't know. And we can't do anything with those. Alright, so let's go to the... Let's go to the music room? Yep, music room. How's my pet doing? That's a lot of despair. Wait, what were you about to say? Looks angry. Oh, fine. You freaking ingrate. There. I think that's enough for a shit of me. Could be wrong. This looks like the music room. I feel like I can see something strange. I know, like this baby grand piano. It's a very nice looking grand piano. It might be very valuable. Ibuki might have been able to play this. Just checking around. Yeah, we got a monolith right there, but... what's going on with this hologram? What is this? Words are floating in the air. This is like a hologram, right? Floating letters are forming a sentence. Looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day. We obtained information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by ultimate despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko and Ashima rallying them. In a worst case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Also, if they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we should expect them to be quite valuable to us. However, we're still investigating the details of their origins and we haven't located them either. We'll continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we have received a report from the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy? 15 students? Is that about us? Excluding Chiaki, who was part of the Future Foundation, there were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking about, talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore. Maybe. I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories we've lost. The Academy Survivors has been added. Alright, so what's going on with this here monolith right here? I don't see no surveillance camera. It's blending in pretty nicely. Looks like it's some sort of monument? Why would there be a monument in the music room? And not just that, the mark engraved into the monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol, there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up. Future Foundation's origins has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I guess that's all the clues in this room. It's finally confirmed. The Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy, and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Chiaki should have made that clear to us. No. As long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma. If he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko and Oshima are making us go through this. Also, this caught my attention in the email too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. If there really is a research facility on this island, there should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow, there's still so many mysteries. Alright, well, nothing left to do in here. Okay, alright. Yo, this glaucoma is getting, like, pretty bad right now. Anybody chilling? Huh? Anybody hanging? Chilling and thrilling? Hanging and begging? Thugging and bugging? Yeah, you right there. Already talked to you. Well, this looks open. Teacher's Lounge. Let's go. This feels different from a classroom. Maybe because it's a teacher's lounge. It's probably the office, right? I mean, the room kind of has that stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it does look like that.
Well...
More importantly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is this guy gonna be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already. She don't want you, dude. She don't want you.
Huh?
There we go.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she don't want your musty, deodorant wearing, yellow bodysuit strutting around in, fake Nike, just, yeah, whatever. I lost that insult like just halfway through. It wasn't going anywhere.
This is bad.
Have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. Damn, I'm really worried. What if something happens to me when Miss Sonia isn't looking? This guy is so useless sometimes. Sometimes? Okay. Flowers! Flowers on top of the desk? Plus, they look strange to me. Are my eyes just tired? Oh, you never seen 8-bit flowers before, my dude? They're beautiful. Majestic, even. There are letters floating in the air, like the music room from earlier. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same one from earlier. I guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue your investigation. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they have lost Junko and Oshima, the fact remains that they are incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy has not ended. Perhaps there's still a leader on par with Junko and Oshima. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we will not be able to end this incident. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they are discovered. Everything is for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does that mean this is an order to kill them? That doesn't sound peaceful at all. Well, I guess that's understandable. If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is as terrible as it sounds, it's pretty much all-out war. If the remnants of despair are the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily. Remnants of despair has been added. Alrighty then, we got a few more things to examine in here. Like this blackboard. There's something written on the blackboard. What's written here? List of subjects is written on the blackboard in large letters. Just below that, are names I've seen before. You got Teru Hanamura, Nekomaru Nidai, Fuyuhiko Kuzurio, Mahiru Koizumi, Mikan Sumiki, Ibuki Miyota, Nagito Komaeda, Gundam Tanaka, Ultimate Imposter, Hajime Hinata, Chiakami Nanami, Kazuichi Soda, Akane Owari, Sonya Nevermind, Peko Pekoyama, Hiyoko Saionji, all the way over here, in a newspaper. An extremely overwhelming portrait is hanging on the wall. I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into the placard says, Hope's Peak Academy founder, Izuru Kamakura? The founder of Hope's Peak Academy, and this name, Izuru Kamakura. Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Damn it, another mystery. The Academy's founder. Well, nothing left to look at but, this here newspaper. There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard. Below that, Hiyoko Saionji is written there. What is this newspaper? What is this? It says Miss Hiyoko Saionji. This can't mean the same Hiyoko, right? I mean, the Hiyoko we knew. She was much smaller and looked more childlike. It was pretty much her defining feature. But the photo in this newspaper. In a way, I can see the resemblance to Hiyoko, but her height and figure is too different from the Hiyoko we knew. What does this mean? This lady looks pretty mature. Is she Hiyoko's older sister or something? No. It says Hiyoko Saionji here. Oh, then Hiyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name. An older sister with the same first and last name.
I mean...
That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at it for yourself. It's not Hiyoko. But, did you ever hear her mention an older sister?
Man.
Well, it's not like I was that close to her or anything.
Wrong.
She doesn't have an older sister. Hiyoko is the Saionji family's only daughter. If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative. No, there's still too much of a resemblance.
What are you saying?
That's Hiyoko. Huh?
Of course not.
What are you saying? Hiyoko doesn't have a curvy body like this. I mean, she was famous for her childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap for looking like that.
Well,
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt? What are you saying? She's already dead. There's no way she could have had a growth spurt.
today,
Well, regardless, all the clues I provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair.
What's going on?
What the heck? This is the truth. If this is the truth, then the Hiyoko in this newspaper. Is he really saying this is the same person? That's impossible. I mean, how can there be a photo of a grown-up Hiyoko when she's already dead? Why does this even exist?
Hey, hey,
Could it be related to that list of subjects over there? Huh?
this is bad.
If it says subjects, maybe it means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did that experiment change Hiyoko's body? Oh, what am I saying? Just saying it out loud makes it sound messed up. What experiment? If it's some kind of experiment, it would mean that we're also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are written on the blackboard under that list of subjects. But what kind of experiment was it?
What's going on?
You know, what's going on? It better not have anything to do with time travel. Yeah, don't even respond to that. List of subjects has been added. Okay, with this, you've totally raised all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, Hajime. You should now go on to the next stage. Next stage? Well then, let's go.